Hi, my name is Andrea Ulrich. I went to Dushan Academy of the Sacred Heart, one of many Sacred Heart schools throughout the world. I recently completed a border witness program run by the Stuart Center out of Washington, D.C. It was about a week long. I went to McAllen, Texas, and even though I'm from Houston, I've never been to McAllen. It's basically right on the border between the US and Mexico, on the Texas side. So I went because I had been disturbed and concerned about the vitriol and the level of hate and distrust and racism shared in our political debates, particularly the presidential debates. I felt really concerned that there seemed to be a lack of facts spreading around about immigration and about how the current state of immigration in the US, particularly how Mexican Americans as well as others from Central America and South America are incredibly supporting our economy as well as being wonderful people and many of my friends and family. So I felt compelled to go to the Border Witness program, and it was incredibly meaningful. Yeah, so there was a lot of really incredible speeches and talks by women who had migrated over. So they had crossed the border physically. They were either now legal or they were still seeking legal status. I talked to one woman who is taking care of her 6 children by herself because her husband is in a deportation center. She actually doesn't know physically where he is because they recently transferred him and won't tell her any information. She's really struggling to do the best for her kids, and she was incredibly well spoken. She also was incredibly courageous. He kept saying, "Hay que seguir adelante," which means you have to keep forward. You keep going forward. There's really no other option to kind of bemoan your troubles or what's happened to you, that you just have to keep going. And that's incredible for me to hear. I've never had anything like that happen to me in my life. So to hear her story and for me to be able to empathize with her and see what she's going through a country that I'm a citizen of, it's really eye-opening. Right, so I think I went to the program because of social awareness impelled me to the action of going to Border Witness. But when I was there, talking to many of the women who are members of that community, who live in the colonias, who are they literally don't have running water in a lot of their areas. But what I felt was one of the most prominent goals was building community as a Christian value. I saw that they loved each other, they cared for each other, they welcomed me as a guest and as a visitor. They opened me with open arms, and it was beautiful to see that. Yeah, so I think one of the reasons I went was to hopefully be an advocate and to be a voice in sharing the stories of some of the women that I talked to, some of the members of the communities that I was blessed to be able to share in. So I hope to kind of highlight different stories that they told me, respecting their privacy, of course. But I also want to get more involved in local organizations. So I live in DC, which is a great opportunity to do kind of national protests and to be able to go to events. But there's also events in Virginia and local area where I can actually learn how to be a child advocate. So I would meet with a minor who's being processed by immigration and I just meet with them every week on a steady schedule every week, and then be able to provide the information that I think would be in best interest of the child in terms of if they should be returned home or if they really want to be with their family member who's in the United States. So that's one way that, it's a one person direct one-on-one, but it could have an incredible impact. And projects. There have several Border Witness programs every year. They are always looking for new applicants. It's designed to be a small group, so space is limited, but it's an incredible experience. One of my favorite parts was not only being able to talk to the women who are part of those communities, but also being able to do a reflection afterward with the Sacred Heart sisters and lay people who are all amazingly passionate and knowledgeable about the Latin American community and about this US immigration issue.